times we hear people talk about how relationships be terrible and it's a fight, I think it runs right back to this. Because if you set the boundaries and you're able to express yourself, like Precious said, a lot of the stuff that's past the point of positive or healthy communication, it seemed unrealistic. Like the way people think communicating healthy is unrealistic, it seemed unrealistic when you set those boundaries like that for you not to be communicating healthy. That I just want to add that.
Appreciate that. Lady Dot, what you got?
So the video was good. I just didn't agree with him saying if you can't communicate, then find other ways. He mentioned like painting and stuff like that. Sometimes if you try to put it out on a picture, the person that's receiving it may not understand it, and you still gonna be in the same situation like you were in the beginning. So I think that people should just learn how to communicate. So reading books, I know Mr. Lego said that. Precious mentioned it. Going to a workshop, there's many different avenues you can learn how to communicate and just get that together. Take your spouse, your girlfriend, or whatever with you so y'all can learn together. It doesn't have to be a form of therapy. It's just a form of building yourself up. Because if you can't communicate with her, then you probably can't communicate with a lot of other people, or women in your family. So you just have to make sure that you just get better as a person and just work on that. And don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Sometimes, there's some men that say, well, if I tell my lady something, she's just going to shoot me down and not understand what I'm saying. Or she's going to pick on what I'm saying, belittle me. So there are women who do that, but that doesn't mean that you don't say something. You got to be able to stand up and like speak for yourself. Even if you was a child and you weren't able to speak up, and I think someone else mentioned that. Okay, that's your childhood, but you're an adult now. So you can still like maneuver away from your traumas and kind of just move forward. Because if we keep letting our past be our present, then we're gonna be really jacked up individuals, and it's not fair for us as a person, as yourself. You create your life, so keep creating it. You want to make money and make moves, then create. Okay, I need to communicate better. And then once you do that, you will meet better people, right? So you're going to eliminate all the toxic ones that's around you. You're going to have better relationships. And then you might be able to get a wife or have the wife that you have, and your marriage is going to get stronger. So I think it's, other ways than just kind of cheating around it. Just get straight to it and figure out how to communicate. And I think it should be good.
Can I just say this really
Yeah.
quick to what Lady Di was saying? For some people, when they're younger, when they're a child and they don't learn how to express themselves, they live in a jail in their minds. And so for people who have gotten past the point where they can express themselves, we say, oh, well, just communicate better, right? So like the pictures and the writing, when you go to therapy, because I had to go through a lot of therapy when I was younger through my situation, they teach you how to, yes, you write. If you can't say what you are expressing, write it down. They teach you to draw pictures and things like that. These people need training wheels to learn how to express themselves, because it's not just easy, like, let's just go to a workshop and do it, because the way that they see out is not the way that people are seeing them. They're seeing themselves as, I can't express myself. There are people around me who don't understand me, but I can't even get it out because I'm in a jail in my mind. And so they do have to take those baby steps of, let me write it out, let me record it, or let me send you a note instead of saying it, face to face to you, because I haven't gotten past the barrier of actually being able to look you in your eyes to express this to you. So let me just write a note. The picture thing is a little, we're adults, and so you have to go as far as to draw a picture. Some people are expressive in that way, but I just wanted to say that some people do need training wheels on how to communicate, because it is a very hard task. And when you get into relationships, the biggest thing that you have to learn how to do in order to sustain a relationship is communicate. So while the workshops, I believe, will help, these people have to be in a setting where they're comfortable. And a lot of times it's in a very small setting. It's not with a whole bunch of people. It's in a very small setting where it's you, maybe your mediator or your therapist or whoever it is that's helping you one-on-one actually be able to express yourself. So I just wanted to throw that out there that yes, we want people to go to workshops and things like that, but it takes you have to have training wheels in order to start, then take those training wheels off so you can elevate to different ways to communicate to actually feel comfortable doing it. So I
And
just
as
wanted
a from a male standpoint to what Precious said, you gotta be okay with getting punched in the mouth. And what I mean is, like, everything in a man's life, it's training, right? It's, you're gonna try something, you're gonna get punched in the mouth, or you're gonna try something, you're gonna fall on your back, right? We as men have to be okay with getting embarrassed, getting told no, being rejected, getting punched in the mouth or whatever. So if you want to learn how to fight, the only way you can really learn how to fight is to actual fight. You know what I'm saying? So therapy is good, but when it comes to us men, we can't just be pussyfooting around. Like, communicate with somebody, whether it's like the guy said, your supervisor, your homeboys, or a woman. And if you get rejected, if you feel small, after that happens, you got to get back out here and train and learn. And like I said, read books, because it's not necessarily easy, because men don't get the same grace and patience that women get. Nobody's going to give a shit about you. And at some point, you're just going to keep getting shitted on because you're 36 years old and ain't nobody going to care. So the books, like I said, there's another book called Growing Yourself Up by John Lee that's about regression. So if you have a lot of childhood issues and you keep getting regressed every time somebody, rejects you, well, that's another book for you to read. But we got to do the work along with the therapy. But we men don't have the time and the grace that women have, because nobody gives a damn about our inability to communicate. Nobody cares. Your baby mama gonna treat you like shit. You have a child, and next thing you know, you ain't gonna be able to see your child, and you ain't gonna be able to know why, because you don't have a baby.
I agree with Mr. Lego's point, because I understand like what Precious is saying about the training wheels, and it does work, I'm pretty sure. But then the other method, like for me when I was young, for me to learn how to swim, my dad just threw me in deep water. Okay, and I was scared of water before that, like terrified. I think I was like 5 and I was scared of water. Okay, so I was uncomfortable. Threw me in the deep water. Within a month time, I became a little mermaid. Okay, no one could get me out the water. Now, that was from when I was young. As I got older, there were other scenarios where I was like, it was intense training. I was uncomfortable. Even now, I'm on a podcast. If you knew me years ago, you would never see me here. I would not be speaking. I like to be in the back and just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on the forefront. I don't do that type of stuff. But I had to, it was just things that I've been through. And I understand the other type of method of just kind of like just get it done, just get to that space, and you're gonna be uncomfortable. So I think the training wheels is cool, but sometimes you're gonna risk your life, like kind of like what Mr. Lego said. He mentioned about the child. There's gonna be even for women. I don't think it's good for women either, because there's situations where they miss, they don't have their child. I see women, don't have their kid. The dad has the custody, or, they got a divorce because they wasn't able to communicate these things that could have saved the marriage, many different aspects. So I think, it's cool, but I think that's just things that they should have taught in high school. Just like finances, they wait to the last minute to teach people finances, and people's credit is jacked up, at the age of 40, because these things are not being taught, or they're saying don't get credit, or so many different factors, many different ways I could go with this. But I think in an early age, you got to learn these things to be able to have a prosperous life. So if you're uncomfortable, be uncomfortable. It don't matter. You just need this. You need the skill regardless. So you're gonna get it or not. That's how I look at it.